Teams can take another big step towards the state championships at AT&T Stadium this week in the fourth round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. These are the picks. Welcome into the picks, your guide to Texas High School Football Weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Can you believe it? We are more than halfway on the road to Arlington in the state championships at AT&T Stadium. This is the regional finals, just 8 teams left in each bracket. But then in the 6-man bracket, we're punching 4 tickets to AT&T Stadium. This is the state semifinals in Class 1A. Big games all across the state. We start in San Antonio. Noon Saturday at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. It's a battle of unbeatens for the Region 4 crown in the 5A Division II bracket as the Austin McCallum Knights take on the Corpus Christi Calallen Wildcats. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number 1, McCallum's moment. So there are 33 public school undefeated teams in Texas high school football left, and you've probably heard of a lot of them. Carthage is undefeated, Katy is undefeated, Canadian is undefeated. But do you know about Austin McCallum? Coach Charles Taylor's squad has been fantastic this year. Their quarterback Max Perez, their running back Alex Julian, and a defense that's giving up just 15 points per game. They're relatively anonymous from a statewide level despite being 13-0 and really, really dangerous. This is their moment. Can they shine? Key number 2, sustained Calallen drives. We know what Calallen's going to do offensively. We've known what Calallen's going to do offensively for about 30 years now. Since Corpus Christi Calallen coach Phil Danaher arrived, they have been about one thing, and that is running the ball effectively out of the wing T. They're going to hand the ball off to A.J. Brown, their outstanding running back, and that offensive line is going to push and push. And they can sustain very long, very demoralizing drives. Just look last week in their regional semifinal win over Kerrville-Tivy when they mounted a 15-play, 80-yard, 8-minute and 4-second go-ahead touchdown drive, and that ended up being the backbreaker in the entire game. McCallum is going to get faced with one of those Calallen drives. Can they come up with the big stop, or will the Wildcats' game plan go exactly to plan? And key number 3, does strength of schedule matter? So we're 15 weeks into the Texas high school football season, and there are only 8 teams left in each bracket, and nobody has lucked their way here. All of these teams are really, really good, and they're basically all separated by about a touchdown at this point. But the question is, what determines that touchdown going one way or another? Does the road you walk matter at this point? If strength of schedule does matter, then Calallen has a pretty significant advantage. Their opponents this year are combined 82 and 62. They've played a pretty decent schedule. For McCallum, largely because they've come from Austin ISD, not exactly a football powerhouse, their opponents are combined 49 and 89 on the year. Now, McCallum's absolutely earned their way here. They are deserving regional finalists. But here in the 4th round of the playoffs, does it matter the road you've walked, or does it just matter that you're here? Who am I picking? I'm going with Calallen. I think they have a pedigree advantage in this one. This is McCallum's first appearance on the regional final stage. But beyond that, I just think the running game for Calallen is grinding along so well right now with their running back A.J. Brown and that outstanding offensive line. Not to mention their defense is playing really well. You saw how good they were last week against Tivy. Now, I will say that McCallum's got an advantage here and something they may be able to exploit. If you watch that game against Tivy last week, Calallen had some trouble with a running quarterback, and Max Perez has got some legs on him. This kid could have a big game. But for now, I think Calallen makes it to the state semifinals. Give me the Wildcats. Let's go up north. 7 o'clock Friday night at Iowa Park's Hawk Stadium. It's a battle of unbeatens for the 2A Division II Region II crown as the Munster Hornets take on the Albany Lions. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number 1, 2-way stars. And they are everywhere in this game, as you'd expect at the smallest 11-man classification. A lot of kids playing on both offense and defense. For Albany, it's Brian Hamilton. And this kid has been, simply put, one of the best players in Texas high school football this season. A Mr. Texas football finalist. He has 54 total touchdowns as a quarterback, not to mention 7 interceptions defensively. And oh yeah, he's a kicker. On the other side, for Munster, it's Clay Stevens, a 1,000-yard rusher, the team leader in interceptions. He returns kicks, he returns punts, he stirs the Gatorade. He pretty much does everything. You're going to have a bunch of 2-way stars in this game who are going to be on the field for pretty much the duration of the matchup. Who shines brightest? Key number 2, explosive plays. Points are probably going to be at a premium in this game. We'll get to that in just a second. But I think they're going to come by big plays because these two teams have a knack for them. For Albany, it's got to start with Adam Faith, with Dax Neese, with Cutter Edgar. They have playmakers all over the field who can hit a home run every time. And then for Munster, you have a great quarterback in Parker McGrew, who's been a guy that you can rely on every single game, not to mention some outstanding wide receivers led by Danny Lutmer, who's able to hit 1 or 2 home runs in this game because lengthy drives are going to be at a premium. And key number 3, 24. That's probably the magic number to win this game because these defenses have been ridiculous. Get this, the most that either of these teams have given up in a game is 21. Albany gave up 21 points to Dublin in week 2 of the season. And by the way, they won that game by 40 points. These two defenses have been absolutely ridiculous all year long. Who can get to that 24-point barrier? Because that's probably going to win the game. Who am I picking? I'm going with Munster. They've been my state championship pick, and I'm not hopping off the bandwagon yet, but I will tell you that this game is basically a coin flip type game. For me, it comes down to Munster's defense. I think they've been fantastic. I think they make 1 or 2 plays to turn the tide. And beyond that, I think their running game with their outstanding quarterback Parker McGrew and their great running back Clay Stevens, I think that's able to keep the ball away from this explosive Albany offense. Don't get me wrong, this is basically a coin flip. It would not surprise me in the absolute least if Albany won this game. But for now, I'm going with Munster. 5 o'clock Saturday at the field in Pflugerville. It's a 6A Division I regional final between Round Rock Cedar Ridge and Pflugerville Hendrickson. Has there been a more impressive story this playoffs than Pflugerville Hendrickson, especially defensively, holding down an explosive Saxey offense? Last week they are flying around. Cedar Ridge survived a scare last week against Campbell. If they get running back Simi Bakari, who's questionable for this game back, I think they got a great shot, but believe it or not, I'm riding the hot hand. I'm going with Hendrickson. 2 o'clock Saturday at Bryce Stadium in Nacogdoches. It's a 6A Division II regional final between Klein Collins and Spring Westfield. This is the game we win. What? Is that? There's no way that's right. Lufkin and Longview. No, this is supposed to be Klein Collins and Spring Westfield. This is the both of them? Wow, okay. Kind of unprepared for this. Bryce Stadium in Nacogdoches, 2 o'clock Saturday. It's Longview and Lufkin in a regional final. And the difference here for Longview has been quarterback Haynes King. Ever since he's come in, they've been a different ball club. Can they get past what's been an outrageous Lufkin defense? Not to mention their running back, Isaiah Phillips. This is a rematch from week 1 where Longview took it. I think it's closer, but I still think the Lobos win. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Prairie View's Panther Stadium. It's a 5A Division I regional final between Manville and Temple, and this is a rematch of last year's stunner when Temple took down what looked like an impenetrable Manville team, and it's kind of setting up that way again, right? Like, Temple is the underdog here, I think rightfully so, because Manville has been so fantastic, but do not sleep on this Temple team. I know that there is a lot of focus on the Manville offense against the Temple defense, and I'm very excited for that, but the other side of the game maybe interests me a little bit more. Temple quarterback TJ Rumfield has been really exceptional, especially lately, going up against this very big, very fast Manville defense. Who wins on that side? The numbers say Manville. I'm going to take Manville, but remember, the numbers said Manville last year, and we know what happened. I'm still sticking with the Mavericks. 7 o'clock Friday at Ranger Stadium in Fort Worth. It's a 4A Division I regional final between Wichita Falls Hershey and Stephenville. Two big-time offenses in this game. For Stephenville, quarterback Easton Jones has been fantastic. Their wide receiver Blake Aragon had a huge game last week against Argyle, and now they're going up against another big offense with Wichita Falls Hershey. Running back DeMarway Foster is a Mr. Texas football finalist. He's over 3,000 yards for the year. And don't forget about Javen Banks, who can make plays on both sides of the field. In the end, I think I trust the Stephenville defense just a little bit more. I'm going to go with the Yellow Jackets. 7 o'clock Friday night at Wildcat Stadium in Paris. It's a 4A Division II regional final between Pleasant Grove and Melissa. If you're not paying attention to Melissa quarterback Brendan Lewis, you're really missing out. This kid has been special, and he might be the future of Texas high school football at this classification because he's just a sophomore and he's only getting better. How does Melissa stack up against the size of Pleasant Grove? This is a huge team for a 4A Division II squad. I think Chauncey Martin leads Pleasant Grove to a win. 6 o'clock Saturday at DKR Memorial Stadium in Austin. It's a 3A Division I regional final between Yoakum and Goliad. This is a rematch of an absolute classic last year where Yoakum pulled out a narrow 23-21 win, and I expect a very similar matchup in this one. For Goliad, they're going to lean on their outstanding quarterback, Rocky Morris, and for Yoakum, they need the Moore brothers to step up in a big way, especially running back Jordan Moore. I think this is a very close game like it was last year. It comes down to one or two plays. I'm still going with Yoakum. 7 o'clock Friday night at Dick Bivens Stadium in Amarillo. It's a 3A Division II regional final between Canadian and Childress. This is another rematch from earlier in the year. And, you know, for all the talk we have about this Canadian offense, and quarterback Cason Cavalier has been fantastic, arguably their defense has been even better. And it was the difference in the first game when they won 27-15 over a very game Childress squad. It's the closest game Canadian has played all year, and they're going to need to have another outstanding defensive effort because Luke Latimer, the quarterback for Childress, has never been better than he is right now. I think this game is very close. I think it's actually pretty low scoring, but I think Canadian comes out with the win. 7 o'clock Friday night at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. It's a 2A Division I regional final between Mason and Refugio, and this is kind of the game we've been waiting for, right? Two of the very best teams in the state going at it in what should be an absolute slugfest. This Mason defense has been outrageous, giving up fewer than 4 points per game on the year, and they are peaking right now. Are they ready for the Refugio offense? Running back Jacoby Avery has been hitting a new gear this time of year. I still think this game is low scoring, but I think Refugio pulls out a very narrow win. And we've got state semifinals in six-man football. In 1A Division I, it's Happy taking on Borden County, 4 o'clock Saturday at Levelland. And this is another game we've been waiting for. I think in many ways this may be the de facto state championship game. You've got Colton McCarley, the outstanding playmaker for Happy, going up against one of the best defenses in six-man football, led by Trace Ritchie for the defending state champs. Look, I've been riding with Happy all year long. I'm not hopping off the bandwagon. I think this game is very close. They need a break or two, but I'm going with Happy. And 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Sterling City, it's a 1A Division II state semifinal between Balmorhea and Valley. And here's strength on strength at its best, right? You've got Valley quarterback Parker Carson, who's been excellent for the Patriots, taking aim at this Balmorhea Bears defense, led by Marcos Mendoza, which has been one of the best in the state. I think this game is very close. It's very hard to call, as most state semifinals tend to be. But I'm going to go with the team that made it to state championship last year. I'm going with Balmorhea. But those are far from the only big games. In round 4 of the Texas High School Football Playoffs, let's get to the lightning round. In 6A Division I, I think Allen beats Euless Trinity. I think Katy avenges last year's loss. They beat Galena Park North Shore. And Lake Travis squeaks by San Antonio O'Connor. In 6A Division II, I'm going with Tanner Mordecai and Hewitt Midway to beat South Lake Carroll. Give me Cy Fair to beat Langham Creek for the second time this season. And Austin Westlake keeps rolling. They beat a surging Cibolo Steel squad. In 5A Division I, one of the best quarterback matchups of the week, I like Spencer Sanders and Denton Ryan to get past Quay Gray and Lubbock Coronado. Mansfield Lake Ridge takes down the defending state champs. They beat Highland Park, and Angleton beats Richmond Foster. 5A Division II now, Aledo beats Richland. Give me Frisco Lone Star in a close one over Mansfield Legacy, and Fort Bend Marshall finds a way past College Station. 4A Division I now, give me Kennedale to beat Kaufman. I think Carthage beats Hendrickson for the second time this season, and Waco La Vega takes down Liberty Hill. 4A Division II now, I learned my lesson. I'm going with Graham. They beat Bushland. Give me West Orange Stark over Salado, and I think Cuero ekes by Wimberley. Tough ones to call in 3A Division I. I like Brock over Comanche. Give me Grandview over Kemp, and Rockdale over Teague. I'm picking all unbeaten teams in 3A Division II. Give me Gunner to beat New Diana. I'll take Newton to beat Wascom, and Lexington takes down Bowling. In 2A Division I, I think Stratford outguns Panhandle. Give me Mart to get by Crawford, and don't say anything, but San Augustine's still hanging around. They beat Centerville. 2A Division II now, Wellington beats Clarendon. Give me Tenaha to beat Timpson, and you know what? I've been won over. I'm taking Falls City to beat Burton. And we've got 2 more tickets to punch to AT&T Stadium in six-man football. In 1A Division I, I think Jonesboro gets by Tioga. And in 1A Division II, give me Milford over Strawn. And those are the picks. What am I wrong about? You've been very good at letting me know what I'm wrong about, so continue to do that. Leave comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the 4th round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. We'll see you.